Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Shift. I'm Eric. Today I have a special guest. We go way back, way back. But I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna get her to introduce herself. My sister,
Hello.
welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me. I'm very honored and thankful to be here today.
Thank you. Who is my guest today?
Hi, guys. My name is Siamani Aruna. I don't want to say my age, but I'm a young girl if you want to talk in Creole.
You don't need to say your age.
Yeah, but my name is Sia. Nice to meet you guys, everyone out there.
I know you 2000 and something. Yeah, long time ago. We go way back. But you're one of the ladies / mom / big woman. Like, I have respect for you because like you always have respect for everyone, which I appreciate you for. But now, I want to take you back. So tell me, I was growing up in Australia.
So growing up in Australia, I'll be honest, I haven't ever been anywhere else besides Australia because my dad had the opportunity to come to Australia in 1992. So he came on a scholarship to study his master's in agriculture. So he came over and then 5 years later, he was able to bring my mom overseas, and that was in 1997. And then I was born in 1998. So now you know my age, exposed.
Okay, yeah.
But not a big deal anyway. But yeah, so then growing up here, there was a lot of challenges, a lot of great things. I'm very thankful to be able to, now that I'm growing up, I'm getting to understand more about life, about other people's experiences, different countries, third world countries, because growing up in Australia, it's a first world country. Yeah. I'm very blessed and fortunate to grow up here and have many opportunities at my hand, especially as a young woman and a woman of color as well. Growing up, I didn't really get to see many Africans. It was just a small number, even in our school. I think our school, being out like Southwest, it was one of the schools that had a lot of migrants, I would say. It was good, but then some days, I got to realize that I didn't really like myself, but we'll get into that later.
So I want to know, just like what you said, growing up, not much like Africans. So for you, how was that for you? Like, you go to school, you see yourself, then different nationality, So how was that culture shock for you?
I would say because there wasn't much representation of, African women or mothers. It's just like our moms, our aunties, but no one really in our age bracket to really, or older as a role model to look up to in a positive light. Because, when you're like the minority, a lot of people kind of overlook, and there's a bit of bullying, a bit of teasing, and not really being confident in your skin and not really appreciating the value that you have. Ups and downs. Going to school, not really seeing many African or like dark skin or people of color on the TV, magazines. Cause I remember back then it was magazines and, toys, Barbie. So Barbie was always blonde hair, fair skin, Caucasian looking. So there wasn't really much representation. So I wanted to look like Barbie. I wanted blonde hair, I wanted blue eyes. Because that's what I would always see on Australian TV. At that time.
Okay. So let me ask you this here. Back then, when you're young, were you looking up to like people or experiences growing up? For example, maybe your mom was like your role model. Back then when you were growing up, do you have anyone like that?
Coming to, I guess, more teenage age or young adolescent, I would say my mom was definitely a major factor and someone I looked up to a lot. I would say with other people, it wasn't really until I started getting to high school and then social media became a thing where there was much more representation of different YouTube, some Black American or British or European people, women were posting, and I could see like, oh wow, they're so pretty, they're so beautiful and all that kind of stuff. So I started to say, oh wow, that's really nice. But then I would say I got more criticism because I think some of the aunties, for example, they'll be like, oh, your daughter is so beautiful, she's so quiet. I used to be very quiet, very timid, as you probably remember. But they'll be like, oh, your daughter's so beautiful, but if she was more fair, she'll be even more better. So they even got me to start buying, not me buying, but my mom started buying bleaching cream because the auntie wanted to sell bleaching cream. So I think it was a very long journey and long process in getting to actually, get proper role models But I'm just thankful my mom didn't also hop onto that bandwagon. She did, but she didn't really like the smell and all those other things because like, obviously very strong chemicals. Like now it's like banned in a lot of countries, but I'm just thankful that she didn't really go into that area because I probably would have followed her. Yeah, so not really at the same time.
Wow, thank God. Thank God your mom changed your mind.
Yeah, it's so expensive too. It's like a huge investment.
I know way. Okay, not yet. I wanna take you school. For some of us, we came here, like we started school here, you were like into the system. So I know there's someone out there watching, yeah? They wanna know about the schooling system. So how was the school system for you?
The school education, the curriculum, I would say is very good because I hear stories of my mom saying back home, if you don't pass or you don't pass your exam, then you're going to repeat. So that can also, bring a lot of different factors where you're older. And of course, the family, the environment, poverty and money, lack of resources and stuff. So of course, you go to school at a later age. So I was obviously fortunate to start like at 4.5. I was very young because my birthday's just before the cutoff mark where you can start at 5. So I started at 4.5. I was quite young still. I would say that I think it's a bit better if you start at a more mature rate because now being a mom and having my son, he's born after June. I would say like starting later is better, but then I started really young. So I was always quite slow in like writing and reading. Like I was a very good girl, like always listen to the teacher and always respectful because I was very timid and shy because I was like, oh, I don't know if these people like me. But yeah, the curriculum I would say would be good. It's good because in the sense they're always trying to get you to excel and, having that parent-teacher interview they have every so and then like every quarterly, I would say, or every 6 months helps you to, show your parents where you're at, what level you're at so that you can also improve. So I would say the schooling is really good in Australia.
So do you face any challenges back in school?
I think for me, in primary, because like I said, there was a lot of migrants and a lot of different people of color, different backgrounds. So I was with friends with more of those kind of kids that were kind of like, I don't want to say like the misfits, like they were like the odd one out. Everyone had their cliques, maybe their group, this country with this country, this one with this. But I was just hanging out, the people that people rejected, I would say. And I felt like I was also maybe outside. It was challenging, but I still got to make friends because I always like to try to stay positive and look to the brighter side of things. So yeah, I just made friends with those type of people. So it was challenging, getting bullied. And unfortunately, you think that, bullying is from like the opposite side of, the type of color, but it's can sometimes be from your own people and also from other countries, people of color and migrants. So they're the ones that will say things to you, or you look like this, or you look like this, and it's like, what? So, you start to believe those thoughts, but it was, not easy.
I know it's not easy, Well, for you staying positive during your younger age, with all those things going on, how was your mental health? I know were you talking to mom or say, okay, like you go home, mom, or this, like someone said this to me, someone like...
Yeah, I mean, African parents sometimes, I would say they just try and give you a talk like, oh, don't worry about it, it's okay. They kind of like help you to overlook it, but then sometimes the issue is still there because you're the one that has to go to school every time and deal with it and be confronted. Thankfully, there was never ever like physical bullying, but just more verbal, but words are very important. So, they can really be instilled in a child and can really affect you to an older age and really affect the way you perceive things and how you go about yourself as well, like perceive yourself and how you go about, in your day-to-day life. So yeah, my parents, they tried, but so busy, also trying to help family to migrate, refugee, the lot of, Sierra Leone had like a civil war. So the, here and there. So my parents, really got to help their family a lot back home. And thankfully, like bring so many people to this country, to have a safer place, They could have easily been selfish, but they wanted to help. The fact that they had an opportunity, they also wanted to help others. So they didn't really have that much time, I would say, because they're busy hustling, working, saving, also, dealing with family all the time, talking on the phone, Africa, because different time zone. Yeah, so, you don't really get that time to sit down and like, oh, mom, dad, mommy, daddy, this is what happened to me. Not really. So you kind of just learn to cope and deal with it yourself, and you don't really become aware that you don't even know about mental health, because back then, I think now it's a little bit more better talking about mental health, but still African parents still kind of overlook it, like, you have a roof over your head, you're fine, you don't eat, you've eaten, it's fine, you're lucky to be here. Yes, but there's so many other factors, even though with all the privileges, but up here sometimes might not be good.
Okay, I know, 100%. So now, yeah, I know there is a kid or there is a mom, yeah, watching us. That kid coming home to mom, hey mom, I got this, I got like, you know. For you now, you've been through that situation. What advice would you give?
Yeah, like what I would have hoped, like now at an older age, understanding myself more and, you know, having a son myself, you know, is to really, first of all, instill those values and to really help your child believe with repetition and with consistency, telling them that you're beautiful, you're worthy, you know, your skin is beautiful, your hair is beautiful. Don't let other people say things. Like right now, I even tell my son, I'm like, if they say like this, they'll say, my skin is beautiful. Or if they say like that, they'll be like, don't worry, God thinks I'm beautiful. God made me, you know? Yeah, you know? So I just, would say just start with those words to really instill in the child so they can believe it themselves. Because sometimes you can tell your child something, but if they don't believe it, you know, then it's not really going to sink in their head and they won't roll with it. So say, really just believe, own yourself and like own your truth and really know that everyone is beautifully made. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own unique
100%.
qualities. So start with that first. And if they come to me and say that child did this, I'm going to go talk to the school. I'm going to go talk to the teacher and be like, my son said this.
Wow,
communication is number one.
It's good, man. It's good, 100%. I appreciate you. I appreciate what I advice. Okay, now I want to switch you somewhere.
I want to talk about high school.
You want to talk about high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about high school.
So in high school now, going to an all-girls school.
What school did you go to anyway?
Beverly Hills Girls in the area.
Beverly Hills.
Beverly, yeah.
Okay, so tell me about Beverly Hills. How was that whole package for you, like leaving primary school?
Girls' schools are quite interesting. Sometimes there can be a bit of drama. I don't know if it's compared to co-ed schools, but sometimes, you know, when social media especially became apparent at that time, you know, Facebook and I don't remember. Facebook was like the main thing. I got Facebook when I was like 14. Like my friend helped me to set it up. So like, you know, that time, you know, you have like Facebook famous people and then they'll be in the area like, oh, this guy. So the girls would kind of be fighting, you know, trying to get attention from these other schools and all that kind of stuff because in the school it's only girls, right? But it's been interesting anyway. But in high school, I feel like because of the representation from social media and starting to see more beautiful, more women of color, you know, you see like, you know, they're getting, you know, looking after themselves, they get to explore different things. Of course, it's different now. Time goes on, trends change, hairstyles change, makeup trends change. But I started to see myself in other people. I'm like, oh, wow, this person's like this and they can dress like this or they can, you know, look like this and do this hairstyle. So, you know, you start to take inspiration from them. And that's when I started to gain more confidence. I think I would say like year 11, year 12. That's when I was like, you know what? I'm beautiful. And of course, you deal with your insecurities, but that's when I started to gain more confidence. And that was due to seeing more representation compared to when I was in primary and I wouldn't see much of my skin tone or my hair type and not even know how to deal with it. It was always relaxer. I know this would be triggering for a lot of the girls out here because the pain. Did you ever relax your hair? Ever?
Nah, man, I got a story, There was one time I wanted to have a shower, Body wash is finished. So the only thing I have at home was like Head and Shoulder.
Oh,
so that's what I use.
Oh, does that make your hair straight?
But I don't know, like, but
Head and Shoulders is okay.
Yeah, it's for your hair, but like
for dandruff.
Yeah, but me, I want to have a shower. I just use it as my body wash.
Oh no, that would make me cringe.
Yeah, I don't have any.
At least you were probably smelling nice when you got out the shower.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool, man. I didn't tell anyone. I just quick, range myself, go. Yeah, man. You know, you have to find ways.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but I've never relaxed my hair now, man.
It's painful, and that's what our moms and aunties need to do because it will make your hair more straight and more manageable. That whole myth is a whole different talk for a whole different day when it comes to hair care and, you know, really knowing the type of hair you have. We always get told, oh, you are strong. Your hair is so strong, it's so coarse. But fact is that because our hair is very coily, it's not curly, because there's different hair types. There's straight, there's wavy, there's curly, there's coily. Our hair is coily, like 4C hair, so 4 type hair. It's very coily, so it tries to actually protect itself, hence why it's always tangling. and always grouping together, because as soon as you come in, you see it goes back. I almost want to speak Creole. I say, you don't see, don't go back.
So in high school, then you see different people with different...
Embracing it. Embracing
okay.
that hair. And then the natural hair movement came out. And then everyone was like, yeah, I'm going to do the big chop. The big chop was a big thing. So then, I started to love my natural self and not feel like I have to always wear wigs. Of course, I still wear them now as a protective style. It's not by force now, it's a choice. If I want to, I wear it. If I don't want to, I can rock my natural hair. And even if it's short, it's okay. Beauty, our hair type as African women with full type hair, it's not about length. It's about the fullness and the thickness of it. That's what shows you that your hair is actually growing. It's not necessarily have to be down to your back. Yes, it has that potential, but because of the hair, the wind, the water, it kind of like, breaks off. So anyway, so I started to gain more confidence and love myself. So made high school a bit more easier, transitioning to uni.
So let me ask you, the whole primary school, high school, that one thing you take from school?
I would say now, looking back, I think it really depends on the individual. It doesn't really matter. Of course, factors, environment does matter, because they always say, oh, this school is bad, or this school is bad. But I honestly believe private school, no private school, Catholic school, not Catholic school, Arabic school, whatever school it is, it just depends on the child. And if they really want to excel, they can. And of course, teachers as well is really a big role. Because I remember a teacher told me in year 8, you'll never be good at maths. So guess what? I never did maths. In year 12, year 11, when they said choose your subjects, I didn't do it. So even those words that they speak can really make a big effect on you. Because I started to believe, I'm never going to be good at maths. I didn't like the teacher, low-key. The teacher didn't really encourage me. The ones that were interested, they paid more attention to the students. So we were like kind of like the class clowns and naughty, trying to be cool in the back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would say don't do it. It's okay if you call you a teacher's pet, or they call you a brainiac, or you're a smarty, or whatever. Get your education. It's really, really important, and if you put your head down, you can do it. Don't be influenced by friends. You can still be cool and smart if you want to be cool, but you can still be smart.
100%. So now I want to switch something. I want to switch to something that change the whole Sia being a mom.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So how was the whole process, the whole scenario? Like, was it something you planned? Was it like out of the blue moon?
Yes, I would say definitely not planned, because I was very young. I'm still very young, but I was very, very young, meeting my son's father, and then all of a sudden this magical thing called pregnancy appeared.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, God, I've already done one thing this way. Let me not go and do another way like this, so we're gonna roll with it. Thankfully, he was supportive, and of course, my parents were so shocked. And
that's all day. I want to ask you, because our African parents, were you the one that dropped the news, or they find out from family members?
I dropped it.
So you dropped the news?
Yeah, like long after.
How did mom and dad take the news?
I would say it was not easy. I would really understand. Now that I'm looking back in time, I'm like, I really understand the heart of my parents, and they always want the best for you, and they always want you to succeed and thrive, because the stigma with obviously having kids, of course, when you're young and you're not married, having a child out of wedlock, of course, spiritually, it's already frowned upon. Culturally, it's frowned upon. It took a really big toll on my family, especially for them. My parents have been here for over 30 years, and I was kind of like that golden child in the community, and they say one of them, like, oh, you picking, your daughter's this, your daughter's that, wow, and they had a lot of high regard for my family and my parents, So even my dad even knows the Prime Minister of Australia today, Anthony Albanese. They used to go and have coffee in the Marrickville office back before when he was the mayor, So they're the ones. My parents are back in the days, they did a lot of things to help a lot of the gateway open for refugees to come from Sierra Leone. So they're really very, very respected people in the community. So for them to hear that their daughter is now pregnant out of wedlock and she's really young, and I was in uni, of course, it was not easy for them, and they really were very upset at me, of course. But then again, I said, I've already done one thing, everything's in God's hands. At the end of the day, I didn't kill anybody. I didn't go to jail, thankfully. So, I've always loved kids, to be honest. I'm the oldest of 6. So I've always, my youngest brother, he's 14. I was 14 and he was a baby. He used to call me mom. and call my mom by her name, you know. So I've always loved kids. So it was really, really difficult them finding out and for me to tell. And I went through a lot of the emotions, of course, hormones and all that kind of stuff. But then again, eventually they still came around and show me a lot of love. To this day, they're really amazing. They've come around a lot, and you know, I understand like the heartache from them in the community because they're obviously caring about what people say. But then again, they thought my life would be over. But then it made me even have more of a drive to actually complete my degree, to actually, you know, get up on my 2 feet and actually look after myself as well as my son.
Well, for someone out there going through the same, how was your mental health? Because you're still young, pregnancy, you're gonna be a mom. Like the whole process, what were you thinking? Like,
it was, all over the place. But then I just try to stay positive and, you know, try to, you know, lean closer to God and, you know, of course in repentance. But really ask God for strength to be able to overcome all these situations and really be able to deliver safely and, you know, have no less complications. And it made me more like, of course I was sad, I was angry, I was, you know, I was excited, you know, all the works. But then, I just said, you know, I'm gonna try my best to, you know, still, I guess, succeed in life. According to people, everyone has a different definition. It's subjective to what success is, you know. So, so I just said, whatever it is, I'm gonna try and, you know, raise my son up the best I can. So it was, definitely not easy, but we got through it in the end and we're still going through it.
Okay, I wanna ask you, you're balancing being a mom, uni, and everything. How was that for you?
It was quite challenging. Uni, because I was in my second year of doing my bachelor's in interior design. You know, even when my friends at uni or my peers found out I was pregnant, everyone was like, oh, your life is over. Oh, you're messed up. Oh, that's messed up. Or obviously using F-bomb and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, well, I don't think it is. You know, you really, if you believe people's words, that's what can be a reality. So you have to really, you know, speak life into yourself and say that everything's going to be fine. You know, we can do this. Of course, it's going to be more challenging. It's going to be more difficult. There's going to be more things that come up, you know, physical wise, you know, also paying that attention to the baby and, you know, your appointments and all that kind of stuff. But it's not impossible. If anything, you have more of a purpose to live more now because, you know, you're bringing life into this world. So you want to do better for yourself as well as for the baby you're carrying.
I know having the kid is positive, with the whole motherhood thing. What's that one thing you'll be proud of?
I'm proud of the fact that I didn't let people's words get to me. Of course, I really value what my parents say because they're my parents and I respect them and love them a lot. If anything, it helped, being a mother helped me to respect them even more, especially my mom.
Man, that's so wonderful. If you look around the world, so many people are going through challenges. Young moms. Sometimes people don't plan for this.
Of course.
But it happens. Let's put it this way, 19-year-old girl out there now watching you. She's going through the same. She just found out she's gonna be a mom. What advice would you give that 19-year-old? Because you've been through the whole process. You've been through like the stabbing behind your back, the talking days, your mom going out for you, your dad going out for you. But this person now just find out. So what advice or motivation will you give this person?
Definitely try your best to see the positive side of things and the, you know, the great benefits that can come from this, because of course you're never ready. No one's ever ready, even when you've got everything planned. Having a child, it's no joke. You even have your son yourself. It's definitely not easy doing it by yourself or doing it with someone. Thankfully, I was doing it with my Lawrence's father at the time. So try your best to think about the brighter side of things and the future that you could have with this being that you're creating. And if people offer you help, say yes. Because one thing is like we try to be like, I'm tough, I can do it, I'm okay, I can do it. You can do it, but if someone can help you, take that help. You know, don't be scared to be able to lean into that and access that help that people might be offering you. Because I know people can be scared, maybe they'll, you know, people might betray or they might say this, it doesn't matter. It takes a whole village. Hang in there and keep striving and think about what you can do to support yourself best so that you can also support your child.
Man, what advice, guys, listen. learn from, someone who's been there.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it, if I'll be honest. I wouldn't. I would honestly say, like I said, no one's ever really ready. But if it does happen, that's life at the moment.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. Really, it's not the end of the world. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And with God, everything will be okay, So, but yeah, definitely, if you want to wait, you should wait. You should wait. Be smart.
Be smart.
Be smart.
Okay. So that is something I want to touch on. I come across you on TikTok, posting and stuff. I'm like, this is not the C I know. So with this TikTok fashion thing, what makes you jump into fashion, bro?
When I really think about it, it really stems from like childhood, because I've always, loved dressing up my dollies and, seeing my mom and my aunties, dressed up, because, Africans were very extra, put the actual B, going to African parties and stuff, you get to see how people can really dress up and really put a lot of effort into the occasion. Seeing my mom, I love the fact that my mom, and there's so many things I take from her, is that she has 6 kids, but every time we go out, everyone's neat, everyone's tidy. She looks good, the kids look good. I know sometimes, unfortunately, and I don't judge, but some moms will look great and the kids don't look good. They don't look clean, they got boogers, they got torn clothes or nappies like these, So I would say, of course, you want to look good, but everyone needs to be looking good together. If anything, I prioritize my son first before I get myself ready, because I also don't want to rush, or I'll be having my makeup on and my outfit on and then I'm sweating to chase him to get dressed. I dress him first, make sure he's eating first, dress him up, he's playing on his iPad or playing with toys, then I get myself ready, focus on myself. Then we shop together. So so it started from childhood, because my mom used to get donations for sending things to Africa, back home to Sierra Leone in the container, helping a charity. I used to kind of pick at the clothes, because a lot of the things I do like on TikTok is actually like sustainable fashion. People like from Nigeria will call it Okrika, Sierra Leone we call it John's clothes. John's clothes. Hey, give me money. Hey, give me money. Hey, give me money. John's clothes.
Hey guys, that's a song.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. John's clothes. So I honestly, like my mom even says, like she loves the fact that I'm not very proud. Like I don't mind wearing someone's old clothes, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Of course, you have the money to buy, but why don't you be smart and you can be able to, go to the secondhand shop. And there's some really great things there, like expensive things there. People just think, oh, ew, I don't want to go there.
Buy this one.
Buy it and go and wash it. Go and wash it. Why do you
Unless you tell someone.
Yeah, honestly, like people like always, like not always, but most of the time, compliment me, because I love to dress up. I love to express myself. To be honest, when I was younger, I used to think that my mom was like, oh, why are you always wearing black? Why are you always wearing black? Because back then you don't have money. So everything you buy is in black. You buy black tights, black top, singlet, it was very boring. And I thought as a black woman, colors would be too much out on me. I used to be so insecure about that. I was like, oh no, I can't wear bright colors because it just looks too much, But then later I was like, oh my gosh, like where have they been locking me up? Like I look good in this, in every color, melanated skin, it's just amazing. So, it's so versatile. So you got to really own it. One thing is confidence, so that's how I got into the whole fashion thing. Like, I wasn't scared to try new things and experiment and play around, and yeah.
You talk about your mom, you've seen, okay, aunties dress up, but apart from your mom and your aunties, is there any celebrity or anyone were you eyeing, back then? Were you eyeing? You trying to be like, or their fashion game kind of like take you?
It trends, they change over time, and there's my fashion and my outfit choices have changed so much over the years. That's why I kind of keep like a log on my Instagram. I have like 800 photos and posts, because I look back and I'm like, wow, my style's really changed. Of course, back then you want to be on trend and you want to like wear what everyone's wearing, the celebrities. I would say, I don't know who comes to mind, like maybe Rihanna, some of her outfit.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Link up.
Fenty. But yeah, so, I used to listen to a lot of pop music, Rihanna, Beyonce, and all that kind of Y2K fashion. Yeah, I think for designer wise as well, at the moment, what I'm really into is kind of like that regal, like modesty and like, not showing too much.
I like the way you're doing. Like,
like, you don't have to expose too much. You go through that phase. Of course, I've been through that phase, when you're 18 in Australia, 18 is like the legal age, you can go out and all that. So of course you want to wear this, you want to wear that. You see that people are wearing it, But now I'm like, you know what? You gotta reserve some for yourself, you know? And you don't have to really flaunt everything. Yes, you got it, you can flaunt it, but then you don't have to. There's some, you gotta keep some mystery and, really be able to package yourself well. So yeah, I think Dior and like Chanel, that type of look, and even some kind of Korean fashion as well. Like the way they, pull out, it's really, really giving. It's giving like mature, very demure,
Wow.
very mindful.
Man,
It's
it's coming out.
Yeah, so I just mix it up with a bit
Just
of
mix it up,
color,
yeah? Okay.
color and boldness.
So let me ask you this here. If you have the chance to collaborate with someone, who would that person be?
I've been seeing, I'm not really sure of the names exactly, but I've been seeing a lot of like West African designers and the way they'll, be expressive with the outfits, the colors, the patterns, the boldness of it. Like I love like the fact that, in West Africa, we have a lot of colors and prints that we showcase, when you see the aunties, like it's literally all from like back in the days, but it's like kind of modernized. So I would think of the names and I will let you know
You
on part 2.
Part two. Okay. So now I want to ask you this here. How does fashion makes you mom into fashion into mom?
Okay, interesting question. I would say like with me, because I have a son, he's now 6. I like to give him choice of what he wants to wear, but of course it's kind of limited. It's like, choose this or this. So it's still me choosing in the end, because of course I'm the one that bought the clothes. But yeah, sometimes I like to match with him, whether it's like through sneakers or, through like the color tone. And sometimes I do it unconsciously, not even intentionally. I'll walk up to like childcare before and the teacher will be like, oh, you guys are matching today. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I didn't even notice, because, I sort of buy things that I feel like, look good on our skin tone, it looks good, and like, we can be able to match and go to church or go out to like kids' birthdays together. So it's really fun and playful, because he's not a girl. So if he was a girl, I think the whole internet would be broken, because I'll be posted every day, buying the same matching set and everything, matching handbag and all that. But yeah, it's really fun. So like, I would say like I said before, make yourself presentable as well as your kids as well. Your kids need to come first, when it comes to that. Your kids are very important. They're your priority. They depend on you. So make sure they're neat and tidy and they look good. And it doesn't have to be expensive things. That's the thing. It doesn't need to be expensive. Look good, feel good. That's what I always hashtag on my post on TikTok. Look good, feel good. And you can shop on beauty on a budget. You don't have to buy $1,000 clothes or $500 dress. Sometimes they'll buy like that. It won't even look nice because the way you put it together is too much. But that's just my opinion. I think that everyone's free to express how they want to do it. When he's older, he can have more choice in what he wants to wear and stuff. But as for now, I'm the stylist for him. Yeah, I'm the stylist.
Okay, Sonia, let me ask you this. I want to know the lesson you learned from the fashion world.
I would say every day is a blessing to be alive. So every day should be like you're on the runway. People always ask me, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Why are you dressing like this? Isn't it too much? I'm like, why aren't you dressed up? Why are you wearing that? So it's about, expressing yourself, expressing your character through your dressing as well. It's a very big statement. It's like art almost. So don't be ashamed. Don't wait for that special day. Every day is a day to be alive. That air you're breathing, just do it. Just wear it. Don't say, I'm gonna wait for this time. And if you have clothes that don't fit, find clothes that fit so you can wear it. Don't leave it, especially our women. They'll buy. Oh, I'm waiting to be like this so I can fit in it. No, just go for it. Go for it. Don't waste time, because I think I discovered that during pandemic and COVID, when I was like, oh my gosh, everyday pajamas. I want to go out. I can't wait to wear this. I wish I could wear this. I kept saying that. So when COVID finished, I was like, you know what? Dress up, wear it now. Why are you waiting? You have the outfits there, and I have obviously a lot of clothes, but I always try to recycle. As I buy, I always get rid of. I don't want to hoard too much. So yes, go for it.
What about the lesson learned? I know we talked about this before, but I still want to ask you. That one lesson you learned of being a mom.
Being a mom is very rewarding, and it really has shaped the character and the person I am. It's made me very patient and really be able to understand the value of life, and also with your elders and respecting them, because they really went through a lot to bring us to the point that we are now. Yeah, even though maybe they might show the love in a very kind way, but sometimes it's tough love. But at the end of the day, they still love us enough to still keep us here today and keep us alive, give us food and clothe us, you know, although it's not like we have everything and get everything we want, but still it really shaped me to really appreciate life and know that someone's also depending on me. So yeah, it makes me very thankful to be a mother.
Be a mother.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay, let me ask you this. What's next for Sia? Are we gonna see you in the runway? Are we gonna see you have your fashion designer clothing? Or what's
I've been
next for
thinking
you?
about it. I've been thinking about it. I'm trying to clock it, you know? But I would say, yeah, just look forward to the future because I am looking to investing in a sewing machine so I can be able to come up with some things because I've actually made a few, 2-3 pieces for a wedding, just with some fabric and with pre-owned clothes. So like kind of like upcycling it and make it my own, but it's not with sewing, it's like kind of hand and needle or with super glue.
Super glue.
Super glue or hot glue gun. Literally artwork. Like I was really had the idea on me and then I was gluing it and then went to the wedding. People were like, wow, you sewed your clothes. I was like, oh, it was me, you know? I said I did it, you know? So I think I do have a lot of potential. I just need to put my head down and really be able to, you know, because I've got a lot of creative ideas and I take a lot of inspiration from everyone, even with, you know, looking at you, I'm like, oh, I can take that. I can work with that kind of outfit or I can make something into my own. It's all about being creative and making into your own thing, you know? Everyone's like, oh, you're copying me. No, it's not about copying. It's about taking inspiration. You know, even designers, they also have inspiration from other things, from nature, from other designers in the past. It's all about, you know, fashion always goes and comes. It's a trend. It goes and it comes. And I don't follow trends, so I like to create my own type of thing. I like to know what works for me.
I want to ask you this, yeah? I know you give us advice, everything, yeah? General advice to a kid out there, Asia, Africa, whatever, mom, dad, auntie. You've been in the fashion world now. You've been a mom, you've been a sister, you've been an auntie, everything, yeah? What advice or motivation would you give someone out there?
I would say always believe in yourself and keep on striving. We have more potential than we can see, just like the naked eye. There's so many things beyond what we can even imagine. Even for yourself, I also just spoke with you before we started and you said that you would never think in like 5 years' time you'd be doing something like this. Yeah. So anything is possible. Yeah, go for it and take seize of every opportunity you get to do better.
100%, 100%. So last thing now, yeah, I always ask people about Beyond the Shift.
I've been waiting for this question.
For the question, yeah. So you now, you being a mom, your dad was mad at you, mom was mad at you, everything, your fashion. So now, if you're gonna put Beyond the Shift in your own space, what Beyond the Shift means to you?
I think it's going beyond your own limitations and that word beyond is a very bold and strong word and it can go so deep. It's very vague, but it's very, narrow at the same time. It's really going to the extra mile because the sky's the limit with anything that you do. I think it's about, really encapsulating all the different uniqueness of different people and their craft and their interest and really be able to, bring it to the light. So I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of you. You know me for a long time. You know me when I was a little girl.
Yeah, man. Like, if we gotta go back, me like pushing the bell. Hey, hi, uncle. I was like, hey, what's up? I'm here to get
palm oil.
Yeah,
my parents sell
cassava leaf, all this stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, I've seen you. You always have respect for everyone, and I have respect for you too. So, So just keep going. Just be that humble girl like we used to know. Don't change for anyone, Because at the end of the day, God put us in this earth for a reason.
That's correct.
Whatever you're doing now, like your TikTok, your fashion, someone is looking at you, oh, I like this. You're changing people, but you don't know. But behind closed doors, they appreciate you, what you're doing for them. So keep pushing. Soon, I'm going to have you for part 2. We're going to, talk about...
No problem. Yeah. I'm happy to be back.
Nah, man, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for everything. Thank you so much. Yeah. Guys, I see you all. Round up everything. Oh, wait, before I go there, I want to ask you this before we go. How can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok and on Instagram. It's Styled by Sia, so STYLDBYSIA. Styled by Sia.
So guys, the black ball So many events are coming up. So if you're not style, you know who to call.
Yeah, I'm happy to help. We can work together.
Oh guys, like I was saying, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn that bell on, so whenever I upload, you'll get notified. Until next time, I'm Eric. This is Beyond the Shift. Let's Hodge.